Fantastic question. I'd love to know what Dr. McCoy got paid. Star Trek, his Federation salary. No, seriously, that was a joke. Seriously, great question. I just would love to pick his brains about, his experience of working on, Trek for 40 odd years, and. I had such respect for him that he came into that show, and through the strength of his work and chemistry with Mr. Shatner and Mr. Nimoy, he was elevated to, a third billing status, and that sort of triumvirate was the core of that television show. And, and I remember, reading that, Gene Roddenberry had written those characters basically as a sort of a fractured representation of Kirk's mind, because the challenge was, how do I externalize the internal dilemma that is going on inside of Kirk at any given time? And so obviously he gave the compassion and heart aspect of the argument to Bones, and then he gave the sort of cold hard logic and science of it to Spock, and then they would often debate, those aesthetics with Kirk, and then he would be, the leader in charge and make the decisions. As I said, yeah, he really had some wonderful material to work with, and I hope on a forward-going basis that we get to see a bit more of that dynamic, that triumvirate. I think it would add a huge strength to the current iteration.
We've done a great job with it. We can't wait to see more.
Thank you very much.
So I had a question, and then I changed my mind.
You're allowed to do that.
This is my first con, me and my mom. So it's Mother's Day today, and I would like you to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Christine, and all the rest of the moms here. I think they would really like that. So.
Sure. Hey Christine, my name's Karl Urban. I just want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. And to all the other mothers.
So you've been a part of some incredible ensemble films, Lord of the Rings, the Star Trek series, and you were the guy with the cute hair in red. I was just wondering, with that many personalities in one set, especially with the rigors of filming and everything, if you could kind of clue us into maybe some behind-the-scenes hijinks going on, or I know you've spoken previously about between you and Viggo Mortensen kind of going back and forth with Lord of the Rings. Just if there's anything going on with maybe some of the other films, just behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, I had a fantastic time working on Dredd. Bruce and I had a thing going where we would, he had on his trailer, he had like a fake name, and every day he asked the ADs to change the name. So I started coming up with some suggestions. I think my first one was Mr. Don P. Pinas. He loved that. He did not like Dr. Kid E. Fiddler. And I totally understand. That's across the line there. But yeah, certainly when I worked on Comanche Moon, Val Kilmer got me a goodie. He put it was obviously at one point a live rattlesnake that had been embalmed and then put into attack mode with its fangs out. And I opened my trailer door and there it was, literally at head height, and I just screamed like a little girl. And I never got him back yet. Yeah, it's it's fun to be able to work with people who have such a great sense of humor, and that you can laugh, and I believe that it really adds, and this is one of the things about Star Trek, is that kind of that atmosphere and that camaraderie, I think that comes through on in the film. So thank you for your question. Thank you.
My name's Ruffle. Ariel kind of stole my thunder, because I was going to ask you to wish a happy Mother's Day to my mom.
Sure, let's just do
Yeah, her name's Sean.
Sean.
Sean Goldblatt. She lives in Las Vegas, and we're both big Star Trek fans. So.
Okay, okay. Are you rolling?
Yeah.
Hey Sean, this is Karl Urban. I just want to wish you a very happy Mother's Day. Thank you very much.
And then I was wondering, which of the both characters do you think is better, DeForest Kelly's or yours?
Well, I'll tell you why. I think his is better, and I'll tell you why. He got great material, and he's a great actor. And as I said before, I mean, what I loved about what his Dr. McCoy was able to do was he was really like a consigliere to Kirk, and he was also like a psychologist to him. And you know, he had this sort of a stubborn depth and maturity that he wasn't afraid of, you know, Kirk's, because not that the younger version is, but you know, he would stand up to him and tell him exactly what he thinks. And you know, I would certainly love the opportunity to play, you know, some of those kind of qualities on a forward-going basis. You know, you really got to see that friendship, and I feel that if anything, in the last two films, I feel like perhaps you know, that friendship is a little bit more inferred than actually fully seen and realized on the screen. So you know, I'm really looking forward to the next film and to see the development of that. And you know, it was certainly one of the things that came out of the last movie that people want to see more of, and you know, I'm sure that the powers be will listen.
Thank you. Love you.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. First, I'd like to say that Pathfinder is a highly underrated movie, and everyone should go buy it so you can get an extra $1.
Appreciate that.
And with all the stuff you've done with Star Trek and Riddick and Lord of the Rings, are there any other big franchises you'd like to get involved with?
I think it'd be pretty greedy to want more. Yes. No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that, you know, I just feel kind of, I feel blessed to, you know, be in the position where I do get to work with these amazing people, you know, the likes of JJ and many others. So, you know, I don't know, I'll just, we'll see. I don't plan to go anywhere, so, you know, I might turn up in something else that I think is, I wouldn't mind doing a Star Wars film. I wouldn't mind that. But I just don't think I could be like hyper recognizable because I think that would, if anything, potentially take the audience out of the picture. But yeah, we'll see. Time to tell. Thank you. Hey, how are you?
I was wondering what advice you would give a 14-year-old girl who is an aspiring makeup artist and hopefully actress one day. What would be some of the most important things to focus on to be successful